If you want to get in contact with me, the best way to do it is on Instagram. If you just want to say what up, if you want to tell me you love my videos, you can tell me that you hate my videos, but the best way to do that is on Instagram. Peace, y'all. Jonny Fastlane here. So, Nicki Minaj's husband pushes soca artist Iowa away from her. And is Pusha T lying in his raps? Plus, black response to Young M.A. Let's talk hip-hop. So that was a clip of Nicki Minaj at a carnival in Trinidad and Tobago, right? So, you know, Nicki Minaj is from Trinidad. She always talks about it, and pretty much every year, or at least every other year, she tries to go to Trinidad. She's in the carnival. They love her. She's back home. All the fans come out just to see an international superstar, Nicki Minaj. She's on the float doing her thing, right? Just like always. But this year, she's newly married to Kenneth Zoo Petty, so she takes Zoo with her, right? And as you can see, she's up there on the thing, and it's kind of like, I don't know if Zoo is serving as like her security or what, but he's just like so huddled over her that she can't really move around. She can't, I mean, like, he's on her side to where she can go like that to the people with her left hand, but her right hand can't even move, because if she tries to wave to the people with her right hand, she gonna slap Zoo, right? Which is crazy. Like, he's all up on her, like, back up a little bit, right? So Nicki Minaj is an entertainer, right? She is a rapper. She's an artist. She's an actress. She is all of those things. So her job is to entertain, right? So there's this soca artist, Iowa, right, who is also up there on the float with her, right? Super popular and very big in the soca community, and everybody knows him. And for him to be on a float, right, along with a big star like Nicki Minaj should tell you that he's also a big star, even if we don't know who he is in America, right? So he's hyped. He's on the float. He's like singing or whatever. He tries to give the microphone to Nicki Minaj, and here's Kenneth Petty Zoo like trying to block him, like, no, you better not get next to my wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, on some crazy shit. Like, what do you think I'm gonna do? Rip her clothes off and start fucking her in the middle of the public right here on the top of the float? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, I am an artist. Your wife's an artist. I'm an entertainer. Your wife's an entertainer. We're up here trying to entertain the crowd, entertain the people, right? I'm trying to give her a little microphone to do a little something, right? When the baby, you know, grinds on Lizzo on stage, it's all for entertainment. Nobody ever thinks that Lizzo and the baby are now a couple or gonna start fucking on the middle of the stage in front of everybody, right? So Kenneth Zoo is like wilding out, like you being mad extra, my guy, right? Like you are at a parade, right? It's a family affair, right? Like, calm the fuck down. You don't gotta gang bang on everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, chill out, dog. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I look at that as a weakness. If a nigga's walking around like this all day long with a fucking face like this, like, try me, nigga, that shows me that you weak, that you got a chip on your shoulder, right? The nigga that'll still slap the shit out you and then smile afterwards and before, that's the motherfucker you got him scared of, not the nigga that's gonna pop off at any little thing, because I know how to get up under your skin. You know what I'm saying? So Nicki Minaj thought the shit was funny, of course, right? So she goes on social media, she's answering back to like different fans that are asking her what's going on, and basically she's just talking to them like in her like patois dialect, and she's like, listen girl, you know, he don't understand what goes on at Carnival, and he don't really understand our culture, so, you know, I gotta apologize for him, right? And that's kind of crazy because dude is from Queens, right? There's so many Caribbeans and West Indians in Queens. I'm from Brooklyn. Like, we have a Labor Day parade every Labor Day where there is Trinidadians, Jamaicans, Haitians, Ghanans, everybody from every place in the Caribbean, South America, Africa, all over, up and down Eastern Parkway every year. So how the fuck does Kenneth Zoo Petty not know nothing about Carnival or how the shit works, unless the whole time that the shit was going on, the nigga was locked up in fucking prison? You feel me? Anyway, so then after that, Iowa puts out a statement on Instagram just basically addressing the whole situation of him being pushed out the way by Nicki Minaj's husband, right? So Iowa, this is the the artist who is the calypso artist or the dancehall artist or the reggae artist, right? He's like, Carnival Tuesday, I was at the Soca artist, my bad. I was at the Soca Drome singing with Yuma, and shortly after that, I crossed the stage. A young lady came up to me and said, Michael is calling me to come to the Tribe truck. That's the truck that he was on, right? He says, so out of respect of the bands, I took off my Yuma shirt and proceeded to climb up the Tribe truck. However, my manager told me it does not look proper, so I put on a vest, right? Then, you know, I was on stage, I took the shirt off, and I went to the top of the truck and proceeded to sing my song. While singing my song, I was trying to engage with Nicki Minaj, right? To sing the song along with him. I truly feel that her husband didn't know who I was, right? Because he didn't have on the right shirt or whatever like that. As I was wearing a Tribe Music shirt, he probably thought that I was one of the sound system guys. Nicki Minaj's husband is not familiar with the Trinidad culture, and he did not in any way, you know, do anything wrong. And if I was him, I would have went and tried to protect my wife too and go into protection mode. We all know in Trinidad that a man should be protecting his wife, so I don't stress his actions at all. I just continue to sing my song. Nicki Minaj is our queen, and that's her husband, so we gotta respect him, right? Which is cool that Ira is trying to be like a little, I guess, political and a little bit cool with the whole situation and everything that went down between, you know, Nicki Minaj's husband and him, right? But at the end of the day, like, Nicki Minaj, why, if your husband is toxic, which it seems like he is, right? And just like super overprotective, right? Then why the hell do you have him sitting right next to you at your job, right? At the end of the day, this is Nicki Minaj's job, right? I don't give a fuck if you are an accountant, if you work at a bank, if you are a trash man, if you are a crossing guard, if you are a teacher, if you are a motherfucking YouTuber, right? If you got your spouse or your partner right next to you, right here while you're trying to do your job, I am sure it could be fucking difficult. And this nigga is not no celebrity, he ain't no star, he ain't no business owner, he ain't no philanthropist, he ain't no actor, he ain't no nothing. Let that nigga sit down there and wait, right? Especially if he doesn't understand that you are here to entertain, so you have to be an entertainer, right? Unlike, you know, Zoo Petty, if that was Nas would have understood, right? He would have been on the floor like, okay, Nicki Minaj is an entertainer like I'm an entertainer, right? If that was Meek Mill would have been like, yeah, Nicki Minaj is hyping up the crowd just like I'm hyping up the crowd. I know Ira, what up, right? If that was fucking, Safari, he would have been like, stretch, he would have been having everybody hype on the damn float, right? So like, why are you with this toxic ass nigga, right? So of course, yesterday the blogs ripped Kenneth Petty Zoo to shreds, as they should, right? Nicki Minaj thought that shit was funny again and tells Petty Zoo that, hey, you know your name is in the blogs, right? So she then goes on Instagram to tell us what his reaction was to the blogs, right? So basically she says that he laughed and chuckled and said, man, I bet you rappers would love to have the coverage I have, because he doesn't even realize the magnitude of his actions, right? So she's like, LOL, last night I went to bed, I said, babe, you know you're all over the blogs. And he was like, oh, word, really? I don't have social media, so he can't, you know, respond back to our think pieces about him, right? And then Nicki Minaj says, and she likes it that way, right? Which is insane, because it seems like he's toxic, and then she's toxic too, because she likes keeping a lot of information from him so that he reacts in a certain kind of way that seems irrational to the rest of us normal people, right? And you know, I don't know how long this relationship is gonna last, but if both of them are like that, and if both of them are acting crazy as shit, just in business now, because you are just trying to perform on the float and get your money with another artist, and he's stopping that, he might fuck around and stop your bag, you know what I'm saying? He can't be attached to your hip everywhere you go, Nicki Minaj, you know what I'm saying? But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments.
How much of that, in terms of those lyrics on that first album, how much of that was based on your life?
So Geezy sits down with DJ Vlad, right, on Vlad TV. So for y'all that don't know, Geezy is Pusha T and Malice's, basically the Clip's old manager, right? So he was with them when they were blowing up, when they first got introduced to Pharrell, when they was doing grinding, you know what I keep in the line, and when they was doing what happened to that Boa with Birdman and all that shit. Like in the beginning of their career, right? When Malice still used to rap and he didn't change his name to No Malice and become like all religious and everything, right? So basically, Vlad is just asking Geezy about, how was the come up between like, Pusha T and Malice and him, and, how did they come, up, in fame? So basically they're like, hey, how was it being in the studio with Pharrell? Pusha T raps all about drugs and everything like that. Even his name is a reference to drugs, like I'm your pusher, right? So how much of that life is, not real is what Vlad asked Geezy, right? And Geezy was like, 95% of what Pusha T was rapping is my story, right? Is based off of me and my life, right? And that shit is crazy because, that's the same thing that Malice kind of said No Malice kind of said when he did an interview with DJ Vlad a couple years ago, right? He literally said that it was his bigger cousin that was like the real dope dealer, and that, Malice used to, run with his bigger cousin. And then after Malice left Virginia and went into the army, that's when Pusha T was running behind the older cousins and everything like that, trying to be like them, right? And yeah, Pusha T was selling a little bit of drugs, but it wasn't nothing like he would make you think it is on his music, right? Because if he's rapping on his music, and even when I was younger, listening to Pusha T and everything, I was like, damn, the way they made it sound was like their whole family was like, the black, drug cartel, and that they just grew up in this huge mansion with bricks in the back of the closet, every single day of their childhood. So, hey, of course they was gonna grow up in the dope game, right? That's what it made it sound like to me, that, Pusha T and Malice was holding down the whole East Coast with the coke, you know what I mean? But apparently it's a little bit or a lot of an exaggeration, right? And this is the same thing that Drake kind of talked about in his freestyle, the Duffy freestyle, when he was dissing Pusha T when they was battling like about 2 years ago, right? He was like, your brother said it was your cousin, then him, then you. You don't really do what you rap. You just rap what you knew, right? Which is insane, right? But you ask Pusha T, he'll tell you that he was the biggest dope dealer in the world. And there's even an interview where he was on the Breakfast Club when, Charlemagne asked him, that Jay-Z said that he lost, 300 bricks. and Pusha T said, I am the nigga and the only nigga in hip hop that has ever, sold the most dope ever, besides Eazy-E, right? So, whatever, man. Pusha T is, Pusha T. But everybody else around him seems to be like, nah, it wasn't really like that. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments.
Too much good hip-hop and R&B out here for y'all to be complaining about what we don't have. Saying that you miss something specific in R&B is equivalent to saying that you miss substance or bars or whatever in hip-hop. It's always somebody who do it. The question is, do you support them? The other question is, do the people who do whatever it is you desire so much, do they know how to make music in the current climate? Do they make music that speaks to you today? Or is that shit just not good? That sound like a them problem, sound like a you problem. It ain't got nothing to do with us, though. It's too much good music out here, man. Do your searches, find some people that you love. It's that easy. And it's more directed towards, like, media labels, fans, consumers. Like, y'all are the people who control what's promoted and what's seen the most. So, find the shit that you like, spread the word. Let's stop complaining about what we ain't got, because that ain't it.
So that was Black, right? Not 6 Lack, but that was Black, right? He's a singer / rapper from Atlanta, right? He used to be a battle rapper back in the day, but now he's a singer, right? Dope ass R&B singer, came out a couple years back, right? But the whole situation is he's responding, and it seemingly seems like he's responding to Young M.A, right? So last week or a couple days ago, I talked about Young M.A, and she made a statement on Twitter. So just to kind of refresh your memory, Young M.A said, music doesn't feel the same because we barely have R&B. R&B brought a balance to music. Now everything is leaning one way, SMH, it gets played out really quick. We need R&B to balance it out, no cap, right? And basically she's saying that everybody's trying to sound hard and gangsta, and even today's R&B singers, and when we're talking R&B singers today, we're talking about Party Next Door, or The Weeknd, or even maybe like YK Osiris or Jaquez, all try to kind of sing-songy, melodic rap your ass a little bit, right? So it's not like they're singing like genuine Genuine used to sing back in the day, or Case, or JoJo, or Joe, or Casey and JoJo, or whoever back in the day. But it's just like, it's almost like the R&B singers are trying to be too cool nowadays, right? It's kind of what Young M.A was trying to explain, right? But you see Black responds to, I don't know if he's responding to Young M.A, he probably did see her statement, and he didn't say her name like, yo, bitch, shut the fuck up, or nothing like that, but he's probably thinking like, yo, I hear you, but that's your opinion. There's so much R&B out here that if you think there's no real R&B out here, that just must mean because you and your crazy ass don't know what to listen to. And if you listen to real R&B, there's so much music out here that I'm sure that you can find something that reminds you of the 90s R&B that you love so much, or the smooth R&B that's just not like, you know, sing-song melodic rapping your ass to death. You know what I mean? So he's saying you need to look, because there's so much good music out here that if you're saying that there's no good R&B, that's because you don't know about it, right? And he's kind of defending himself a little bit, saying that I am good R&B. And I know that's where he's coming from with this, right? But, you know, I don't know, man. Let me know what you think about this and everything else in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Follow me at Jonny Fastlane on Instagram. And y'all already know what to do. Peace.